Are you new to the quarterback position? Or maybe you just want to build your knowledge? In this video series, QB101, we're going to be covering all the basics that you need to know. We'll be breaking down a whole bunch of different topics to not only help you succeed in the quarterback position, but to make sure you have fun doing it. Today's video is going to be all about the quick game, and as the name suggests, it's all about being as fast as possible. Get the ball into the quarterback's hand and then out to the receiver as fast as possible. And so our reads can be fairly simple because it's happening quite fast. So let's go through a really common concept that we get in most playbooks is hitches. Now, people are going to run this at different depths, but we're going to run it, for this example, at 5 yards. For a hitch, they're going to run 5 yards, stop, and take one step back to the quarterback. So this is our hitches concept right here. Now, for hitches, the pre-snap read is very important. So our pre-snap read is the quarterback is coming up to the line, they're seeing where the defense is, where everyone's lining up, and they're getting an idea of what's going to happen, all right? Of course, the ball is snapped. We still need to confirm it with a post-snap read to make sure that it's going to be open, all right? So what we're going to talk about is reading these corners, all right? So pre-snap, where are the corners, all right? Are they close? Are they 1 yard away? Are they 5 yards away? Are they 9 or 10 yards away, all right? This is going to give us an idea whether these hitches are going to be open, all right? Of course, if the defender's only 1 yard or maybe 3 or 4 yards, it may be close, all right? It may not be a good pass to run, but if they're way back, 8, 9, 10 yards, it's likely that you're going to be able to complete this pass, all right? So pre-snap, we've seen maybe our defenders are further back. The other thing we can look at is these outside linebackers, because sometimes you're going to have a linebacker line up over here, all right? And there's just no one over top. So this looks like it may be an easy pass to make. Of course, we take the snap, we look over, we confirm post-snap that the read is correct. Of course, if this defender drops back and sits right next to our receiver, we're not going to be able to throw that pass, all right? So we need to confirm it after the snap is made. Now, for any beginner quarterback, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to read the entire field at the same time, all right? You're going to take the snap and you're going to have to pick a side, left or right, to look at first, all right? Of course, you can pick one side and then progress to the other side, but for the quick game, you're picking a side. So pre-snap, you're having a look, all right, over here looks good. This defender's pretty far back. This one's over here. So you take the snap and you're looking to the left, all right? We see that this defender maybe drops back, all right? They're right next to it, but our corner, they're still deep, so we can throw that hitch straight away, all right? When we're throwing hitches, it's important to throw the ball as soon as that receiver is breaking down, all right? We don't want to wait for them to stop and turn back, because if we throw the ball then, we're giving the defender time to come down and make a play on the ball, all right? So these are something to keep in mind for the hitches, all right? Pre-snap, we want to be looking at the corners to see their depth, and we also want to be looking to see if there's any easy completions, maybe if any of these outside linebackers aren't over the top of our slots. We take the snap, post-snap read to confirm it, and then we throw to the open receiver. The next one is going to be our slants concept, all right? And this, again, is a concept that most offenses are going to have. We have a 3-step slant from the outside, and then either a 1-step slant, which we call a quick slant, or maybe a 3-step slant from the slots, all right? With this one, it's part of our quick game. We need to be really fast with our decisions. So again, we take a pre-snap read. We see if anything looks like it's going to be an easy pass. Of course, we need to confirm that with a post-snap read. But the players that we are looking at the most, all right, is these outside linebackers right here, because they're the ones that are going to take away this pass, all right? If they are way back, all right, 4, 5 yards back, we might be able to take this quick slant straight away, all right? We're going to need to be fast, catch the ball, throw it, all right? Because we don't want these guys running into the middle linebackers or the inside linebackers. It's going to start to cause problems, all right? So we want to snap the ball and then get our eyes to one of these linebackers, all right? They're going to tell us where to go. Now, let's say for some reason this linebacker's out here, the quick slant's no good, okay? If this linebacker is coming out to the side, right, they're widening out, we should be able to throw that slant in behind them, all right? So where they were, that's where we can throw that slant if the defender's widening out. So the defender goes out, we go in, all right? If the defender stands still, then it's likely either going to be quick to throw the ball here straight away, or likely we're going to throw that quick slant, all right? Either way, the outside linebackers are going to give us the read key of where we need to go with that ball. The next concept we're going to talk about is the cross, and this is probably one of my favorite of the quick game concepts. So we've got our 3-step slant. Now, different offenses are going to run this slightly different. So I'm going to show you both variations, just in case you run one or the other. Probably the most common is a 1-yard out or an arrow. All right, so it's a very shallow out with a 3-step slant. Some offenses are going to run a 5-yard out. 5 yards, and they're breaking out on a 90-degree angle. Personally, I prefer this one, but then this one is also potentially going to get you more yards. All right, so it just depends. So I'm going to explain both to you, so it doesn't matter which one you have, you'll be able to do it. So again, you're taking your pre-snap read to give you an idea of where you might be going with the ball. Which side looks better? Are you going to go left or are you going to go to the right? You take your snap, you pick the side that you're going to go to. Let's say we're going to the left. Our read key is again this outside linebacker. All right, they're going to do one of two things, or they've got about 3 different things. Firstly, they can stand completely still and do nothing. All right, when they're standing still, they're staying inside, we're throwing outside straight away. All right, we just throw to that arrow route or the flat route, easy completion. If they go back a few steps, all right, again, we're going to throw the out, okay? The only time we can throw the slant is when this defender is coming out. So if they're coming out real fast because they're watching this receiver, then that is the window that we want to throw it in, right behind them, all right? So the defender goes out, we throw it in. The defender stays in, we throw it out, all right? Easy to see. Now the other side, the read is exactly the same. The only difference is it's going to take us a little bit longer, usually, to get a reaction, all right? Because we're going out straight away, we're usually going to get a very fast reaction from this defender. Whereas here we're going forward 5 yards, all right? We might kind of bump into them or have to run around them before we go out. So it'll take a little bit longer to get a reaction. We're still reading the same player, all right? So eyes go to this outside linebacker. If they stay in, we throw the out. And if they go out, we throw the in, all right? Because we are running that 5-yard depth, we do need to be a little bit more aware of the corner, all right? Because if everyone stands still, we might just be running one receiver out to the corner and one receiver into the linebacker, and then everyone remains covered. Maybe the slant opens up a little bit later if everyone stays still for a long time. All right, it just depends, all right? Which is why I prefer this concept a little bit more over the 5-yard out, all right? But we are reading the outside linebacker. The last concept we're gonna run is our fade out, and this is still part of our quick game concept. Although when people think fade, they're thinking deep ball shots, but that doesn't mean we can't be quick with our decisions and throw that fade short. It doesn't always have to be a 30-yard downfield pass. We can throw that 15, 20 yards easy, no problem, all right? So for our fade out concept, it is an outside release fade, and then there is a out, all right? Now, again, different playbooks are going to run this slightly differently. So I like to have an out that's curving and they're getting out to the side as fast as they can. I still want them to get 5 yards of depth, but I want them to kind of cut the corner, to round it off, to get out wide as soon as possible. Some other concepts or some other playbooks, they want 5 yards and then you to go out on a 90-degree angle, all right? Neither is wrong. I just have a preference to this one. All right, and we'll talk about that why. So we've got the fade and we've got the quick out. All right, the person we are reading for this play is the corner. All right, we do need to take into account the outside linebacker, but the corner is giving us the biggest read. Pre-snap, all right, their depth is going to give us an idea of whether the fade is going to work or not. So look at this side, we've got a deep corner, all right, 7, 8, 9 yards back. It's unlikely that the fade is going to be open. All right, we still have to make that read just in case they do something different, but it's going to be very difficult to throw that fade. Over here, on the other hand, where the defender's only 2 or 3 yards off, there's a good chance that that fade is going to be good to throw, especially if that's a fast receiver, all right? So we expect to win against press coverage or any defenders that are close, all right? So pre-snap, we're thinking probably the speed out here. Over here, we're thinking probably the fade. Again, we take the snap, we need to pick a side, left or right, and then decide post-snap whether that's the correct read, all right? So post-snap, we look over here, this defender is bailing back, all right? Then we've got to throw the shallow route, all right? So if this corner is deep, we throw it shallow. If this corner is shallow, we throw it deep. It's that simple, all right? Now, yes, this outside linebacker is going to have a say in it, because if they go on cover 3, then this defender is going to be widening out. Now, this is why I prefer to use the rounding off and really encourage this slot receiver to get out wide as fast as possible, because if they can beat this defender out there, we can still complete it, all right? If they're 2 steps behind, we throw an accurate ball, we can still complete the speed out, all right, even though that's within their zone. Whereas over here, this defender does a good job of bailing back, and this defender does a good job of getting out wide, then it's going to be a little bit more covered. It sometimes can just be a bit harder to get open when you go on that 5 yards and then out. It just gives that outside linebacker a little bit more chance to be ahead of you, all right? But looking over on this side, maybe the corner was a bit aggressive, all right? And the receiver beats them. Hey, we can take that fade shot. We can throw that ball out nice and wide in front of the receiver and hopefully get that 10, 15, 20 yard completion on the fade. All right, so that is our 4 concepts. If you have any questions about any of the concepts you've seen, leave your question in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer your questions.